Hello everyone, my name is Bibi, Aicha, Bintee, Arziah, Mohanuth, and my matric number is 199984.
Hi everyone, my name is Wang Zhongyi and my matric number is 201530.
Hello everyone, my name is Xiaohan. My matric number is 204439.
Okay, good day, doctor, and hello everyone. My name is Pavetheran Nagarajan, and my matrix number is 203000.
Good morning everyone. I'm glad that we can finally meet face to face after meeting up online these past couple of weeks.
I feel the same too, and due to the pandemic, it's been a very challenging times for the economy, especially small businesses like ours, which is why we are here today.
Not to worry, as I can assure you that you will be kept in good hands. I presume Kipla have been satisfied with how our business have been going so far.
Oh, that's for sure. We at Copila have always believed that Coffee Life has been the best decision for us. Here, have some of our coffee before we start with our meeting today.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I am Pavetheran, a partner in the Mergers and Acquisition Department at the Rajan & Co., and I shall be your moderator for the negotiation today. It is fair that I can believe all of you have been acquainted prior to this meeting, as this is not your first meeting, right?
Right.
We have Ms. Wang Zhongyi and Ms. Xiaohan, mergers and acquisition lawyers representing Coffee Life and Company. And also we have Ms. Bibi Aicha, legal representative for the Copila. Okay, as for the title of our meeting today suggests, we're going to be confining our discussions to the conditions of the tender offer. As well, we shall look at some conditions that we have to reach an agreement on for today. I hope all of you can turn to the materials, as I think you will be going to want to follow along. Okay. Let's get into the negotiation. In the memo that I have received earlier, Wang mentioned how important the tender offer conditions are. So let's begin the negotiation by looking at the tender offer conditions themselves. One of the most controversial tender offer condition is the material adverse effect, or in short, it is called MAE. The definition of Bibi's definition of MAE and Coffee Life and Co's definition seem to be quite different. Bibi, can you elaborate on which part of the definition you can't seem to agree on?
Just about anything could potentially be a material adverse effect in a buyer's definition. As we can see that the definition covers material adverse effects on my client's business as a whole, but also on its cash deposition, liquidity, working capital assets, liabilities, cash flow, financial performance, and my favorite, prospects. I'm seeking to narrow the scope of this definition.
Okay, first, let's focus on the financial terms. Cash position, liquidity, working capital, assets, and liability. Focus on the target company as a whole and not on individual pieces of the target company. Isn't that a fair comment?
That is a fair point. The typical formulation is to base the definition on effects that are adverse to the business or operations of the target company and is subsidiaries taken as a whole. And in practice, we should not spend time trying to define an MAE based on an event at one company in the group that did not adversely affect the group as a whole. Much of what Bibi has proposed in her makeup is reasonable. There are just a few items that we are going to have to tinker with.
All right. I think it is fair to assume that Wang is agreeing with what Ms. Bibi has defined as material adverse effect in her conditions. So Ms. Bibi also stressed on the word prospects, which is a forward-looking term. Ms. Ma and Ms. Wang, you define material adverse effect to encompass circumstances that could reasonably be expected to result in a material adverse effect in the future. Do you feel you may be going too far in asking for these forward-looking standards in the definition of material adverse effects?
Prospects used to be included pretty regularly in MAE definitions, but M&A practitioners started focusing on it as being too exciting of a standard, and now it's routinely negotiated out. However, for the buyer, the need to protect against having to close the tender in face of clearly foreseeable adverse effects remains important. Things can happen between signing and closing that haven't had negative consequences yet, but the consequences may be just around the corner and be predictable. So yes, we will agree to take out the word prospect, but we are going to make sure that the language of MAE definition has some prospective element so that we are protected in some relatable circumstances.
Okay, I think it is safe to assume that Ms. Ma and Ms. Wang has taken into consideration of what Ms. Bibi has mentioned about the prospect words in the tender condition, and I hope that there will be some modifications in the definition of the tender offer. So let's move on with the other conditions. Ms. Bibi, let me ask you about one other condition here. What about the so-called market out? It's not unusual in my experience to see this sort of condition in a hostile tender offer, but does it really belong in a negotiated friendly tender offer like this one?
No, I think that would be considered just an inadvertent holdover from a hostile deal. I don't think there are many market outs in friendly deals.
I can see what Ms. Bibi is trying to say here. Does Ms. Wang agree with what Ms. Bibi has mentioned?
Oh, yes, agree.
Okay, I guess that is pretty much for the major conditions that we are here today to discuss about. And because of our time constraint, we could only manage to cover the major doubts over the conditions from the buyer and the seller parts. So I thank both the parties for your attention, and I hope to work with you guys again in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavi. We will schedule another meeting and let you know if we have another topic to negotiate on.
It's been a pleasure meeting with you all today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.